Last Sunday, Walter Payton walked onto Soldier Field to face the New Orleans Saints and to keep a date with destiny. Payton needed just 67 yards to surpass the immortal Jimmy Brown as the most productive rusher in pro football history. And he leapt at the chance to reach this milestone on his home turf. After a soaring pre-game high five, Payton demonstrated that his best work is really done when his feet remain on the ground. Payton's 154 yards on the day gave him 12,400 for his career, making him pro football's all-time leading rusher as he raced past, ran into, and rose above the Saints all afternoon. Gravity-defying touchdown vaults such as this one have become a Payton trademark. And in addition to being a great runner, he has deservedly earned a reputation as a great all-around back. But in this game, his energies were devoted to gaining yards. Thus, other aspects of his versatility, such as blocking, were not up to their usual high standards. The Saints managed to steal some of Payton's thunder thanks to the strong-arm tactics of their league-leading pass rush and the long-arm tactics of spidery receiver Andre Young, number 89. In the future, Young will be able to tell his grandchildren about this 74-yard catch and carry, but he probably won't want to mention that the Saints failed to score on the drive, nor were they ever able to build upon Richard Todd's second quarter scoring pass to Wayne Wilson, number 30. But when Todd wasn't hitting Young or Wilson, he was missing just about everybody else, as he finished with a lackluster 7 completions and 26 attempts. Jim McMahon was considerably more accurate, completing 10 out of 14 passes, including a scoring toss to Dennis McKinnon, number 85. A 20-7 victory enabled the Bears to snap a 2-game losing streak and to make Sweetness's record-breaking day even sweeter. During his spectacular career, Walter Payton's towering talent and winning personality have earned him a place in the hearts of pro football fans everywhere. Now he has earned himself a place in pro football history. Only time will tell how much history Dan Marino is going to make. For now, the Dolphins quarterback is just making a lot of defenders sick with his phenomenal poise and pinpoint passing touch. With the help of Mark Clayton, number 83, who produced over 100 yards in receptions, the Pittsburgh-born and bred Marino enjoyed a homecoming worth remembering as he riddled the Steelers' secondary with touchdown passes to tight ends Bruce Hardy and Joe Rose, number 80. Rose snared Marino's 17th scoring pass of the season. Then the Dolphins' defense made a dent on the scoreboard when blitzing linebacker Charles Bowser, number 56, made a dent in Mark Malone. Number 73, Bob Baumauer's touchdown helped put Pittsburgh on the short end of a 31-7 shelling. With a devastating defense and dynamic Dan Marino, the Dolphins appear to be the cream of the 1984 NFL crop, and they have a 6-0 record to prove it. The cream in Cincinnati has curdled so far this season, and last week head coach Sam Wyche tried some old-fashioned rah-rah to inspire his winless Bengals. While Wyche may have taught his players how to use their hands for clapping, they often proved unable to use them for catching. The Bengals were understandably nervous as their opponents in this contest were the likewise winless Houston Oilers. Obviously, something had to give, and Cincinnati was very giving indeed. This might have been the most even matchup since King Kong faced off against Godzilla. The Oilers wanted to bend over backwards to prove their worth in this game, and the Bengals helped them do it. Both teams had hoped to play error-free football, a sound strategy that was nevertheless destined to fall by the wayside. And when rookie quarterback Boomer Esiason scored a third-period touchdown, the Oilers fell by the wayside 13-3. In his first pro start, Esiason showed signs that he might be the catalyst to spark the beleaguered Bengals to their second victory. When this event might occur is anyone's guess. For now, Cincinnati is content to take them one game at a time. And this one was a long time in coming. Minnesota's rookie head coach Les Steckel resumed his basic training in Tampa Bay last Sunday. And the ex-Marine pointed out that despite a shaky Viking start, he has found a few good men. One of them is quarterback Tommy Kramer, who got plenty of air support from a platoon of largely unknown receivers. Leo Lewis and Mike Jones, number 89, helped boost Kramer's passing numbers to 386 yards on the day. Minnesota went on to build a 14-0 first quarter lead when Ted Brown grabbed a Kramer pass for his second touchdown of the game. But Tampa Bay has grown accustomed to playing catch-up this year, and this game was no exception. Kevin House, number 89, grabbed a short touchdown pass in the second period, and the Bucs evened the score at 14. And the Bucs came back again to tie it up at 21, when running back James Wilder swept right for 11 yards and a touchdown. Finally, in the third quarter, Buck quarterback Steve DeBerg took the worry out of being close with another short touchdown pass, this one to Gerald Carter, number 87. Tampa Bay was ahead for good, and they extended their lead on James Wilder's second score of the afternoon. Bucs' 35-31 victory was their third win of the season, one more than they totaled all of last year. Like the Vikings, the Browns failed to hold an early lead. With 3 field goals and a Paul McDonald to Duriel Harris scoring play, Cleveland earned a 16-3 third-period lead. But the Patriots geared up for a comeback behind quarterback Tony Eason, who took a lateral from Mosi to Tupu and gazed towards Stephen Starring, number 81. Starring's touchdown closed the gap to 16-10, and early in the final period, it was Eason and Starring who teamed up again to set up the game winner. When Tony Collins, number 33, went over from the 2-yard line, it marked the first rushing touchdown against the Browns this season and marked a 17-16 Patriot win. The New York Jets, fueled by the rush of Mark Gastineau, number 99, stayed in the race in the AFC East with a 1-point win over the Chiefs. Heavy blitzing and a 15-yard touchdown pass from Pat Ryan to tight end Mickey Schuler provided the edge for the Jets, 17-16. Locked in the cellar of the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills appeared poised to win their first of the year against the Eagles. Their prospects looked especially bright when rookie Greg Bell's first of 2 touchdowns gave the Bills a 7-0 lead. But rookie mistakes shook the luster from Bell's performance when he missed a block that led to a Philadelphia sack. The Eagles had not scored a touchdown in their 2 previous games, but quarterback Ron Jaworski ended the dubious streak when he found Tony Woodruff for a first-period touchdown. Jaworski from nearby Lackawanna, New York, made the most of his homecoming by throwing a second touchdown pass, this one to tight end Vito Cab, number 84, to give the Birds a 17-10 halftime advantage. For Ron Jaworski, winning came tough when he blew in from 1 yard out and wound up with 1 cracked rib. But the gain was worth the pain in the 27-17 Eagle win. Meanwhile, despite the support of some sympathetic fans, the Bills have got it bad, and that ain't good. So far this season, Joe Theismann has maintained his vow of silence, saying little to his peers or to the press. But if it is true that actions speak louder than words, then little Joe was doing a whole lot of shouting last Sunday in Indianapolis. Against the Colts, Theismann's arm was as sharp as his tongue once was, as he hit on 17 of 20 passes for 267 yards and 4 touchdowns, including 3 to number 81, Art Monk. The Redskins easily downed the Colts 35-7 for their 4th straight victory. And after dropping their first 2 games, Washington has very quietly moved back to the top of the NFC East. Ah, yes, the Frisbee, the 1960s fad that refuses to fade away. In some ways, Atlanta's one-back attack resembles the popular plastic disc, for despite injuries to William Andrews and Gerald Riggs, it too refuses to fade away. Number 3 in Atlanta's running back line of succession is number 21, Lynn Kane. And he made the most of his start, charging through the Rams for 145 yards and 3 touchdowns. While the Falcons appear to have an abundance of bench warmers waiting to break into their offensive backfield, the Rams, it seems, have uncovered a super sub of their own in quarterback Jeff Kemp. Kemp showed off some heavy long ball throwing ability on this 63-yard bomb to wide receiver Drew Hill. But the free agent from Dartmouth also learned that on the Rams, sometimes all a quarterback has to do is lightly pitch the ball back to Eric Dickerson and let number 29 do the rest. Dickerson's 47-yard touchdown run midway into the 4th quarter gave the Rams a slim 28-27 lead. But with the final seconds ticking away, Atlanta's Mick Luckhurst booted a 37-yard field goal that lifted the Falcons to a 30-28 win. Luckhurst's initial reaction might have seemed strangely sedate, but the Falcon kicker had good reason to be momentarily shocked. It was his kick that gave Atlanta, after 16 tries, its first ever victory on the Rams' home turf. One team that can greatly appreciate Atlanta's struggle to overcome the Rams in L.A. is the St. Louis Cardinals. Since the opening of Texas Stadium, they have labored under an unlucky hex that has seen them win but once in 13 years at Dallas. With that in mind, Cardinal quarterback Neil Lomax set out to give St. Louis a fast start and hopefully put the jinx far behind them. This 20-yard touchdown strike to tight end Doug Marsh gave the Birds an early 7-0 lead. But then the game developed in a pattern all too strangely familiar for St. Louis. There was really nothing bizarre about Tony Dorsett's game-tying 31-yard touchdown run, except that it was his longest run from scrimmage since last Thanksgiving Day, which happened to be the last time the Cardinals visited Dallas. What was bizarre was the rather unusual ending to this sparkling Roy Green catch and carry. Roy Green may have missed the touchdown, but he held on to his helmet, and that timely grab was for St. Louis an omen of good things to come. This Lomax to Green 70-yard touchdown pass clearly put a dent into the Cardinals' Texas Stadium jinx. Moments later, a Lomax to Green 45-yard touchdown pass shattered it. The Cardinals prevailed 31-20, proving that they might be ready to crack the elite of the NFC. As for Roy Green, well, he was boldly predicting before the game that the Cardinals would put an end to their losing ways in Dallas. And with 8 catches and 189 yards, his actions were certainly ringing as loud as his words. Coming off 4 straight losses, the Green Bay Packers' visions of a Central Division title are becoming increasingly distorted. And once San Diego's Dan Fouts and the #1 offense in the NFL got started, the Packers really had to refocus. Fouts threw for more than 300 yards for the 38th time in his 12-year career as Air Coryell soared to new heights over Lambeau Field. However, Fouts' efforts were perfectly matched by Packer quarterback Lynn Dickey. Dickey's 384 passing yards were uplifting to an offense that was ranked dead last in the NFL. The quarterback was able to balance the scales in his passing duel with Fouts by keeping the Charger defense off balance with play fakes such as this one. Dickey's 29-yard strike gave Green Bay a 14-14 tie at the half, and rookie Ed West, number 86, his second NFL touchdown. Making his 84 debut in the end zone was super receiver James Lofton, number 80. Lofton returned to form with 158 yards on 5 receptions. Unfortunately for Green Bay, the San Diego passing attack proved to be too potent. Although Ernest Jackson, number 41, rushed a club record 32 times, it was his 9-yard touchdown reception that sealed Green Bay's fate. While the 34-28 win kept the Chargers in the hunt in the tough AFC West, the team they are chasing, the Denver Broncos, continued to bombard their opponents. Quarterback John Elway and wide receiver Steve Watson, number 81, provided some fireworks, but against Detroit, the real sparks were set off by big play Bronco defenders. Number 49, blitzing safety Dennis Smith, deflected a pass into the waiting arms of number 77, Carl Mecklenburg. A bevy of Broncos worked together to force 10 Detroit turnovers. Louis Wright, number 20, provided a clear example of Denver's defensive teamwork. Rulon Jones, number 75, produced the first of 2 touchdowns scored by the Bronco defense. Lion quarterback Gary Danielson hadn't thrown an interception all season until Denver came to town. Danielson completed 4 passes to Bronco defenders, including one to linebacker Ken Woodard, number 52. With a 28-7 victory, the Broncos have streaked to a 5-1 record and sit proudly atop the AFC West, a position they share with the Los Angeles Raiders, who had their backs against the wall after losing to Denver 2 weeks ago. Thus, the Raiders were hell-bent to defeat the Seattle Seahawks. Safety Mike Davis, number 36, and his tormenting teammates bedeviled Seahawk quarterback Jim Craig all afternoon. In limiting Seattle to only 61 aerial yards, the intimidating Raider defense enhanced its reputation as a unit that likes to get down and dirty, a trait shared by running back Marcus Allen, number 32. Allen amassed 173 yards on 4 catches, but it was Todd Christensen who hauled in quarterback Mark Wilson's first touchdown pass of the game. While Christensen is one of the league leaders in quantity of receptions, Seattle wide receiver Steve Largent is undoubtedly tops in the NFL in quality. Although Largent continues to baffle opposing defenders in their attempts to contain him, Marcus Allen was the one player on the field last Sunday who couldn't be prevented from single-handedly giving Seattle their second loss of the season, 28-14. Allen's 58-yard touchdown catch proved that while he's menacing as a running back, as a receiver, he's hell on weed.